Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever in the world you are. You are tuned in to another edition of Classic Tetris Monthly, and this time it is No Cap November for 2024. That's right, level 39 is not a thing. I mean, it's a thing, but the speed doesn't increase this month only, okay? All right, there you go. It's a meme Tetris time, Neko and Myles. All right, both players are ready. Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event Orange Bracket kicks off with Neko and Myles, our number 8 and 9 seed. Let's get him started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Pretty excited about this matchup. We could be in store for some deep runs. On the left side, it is Neko, that number 8 seed, qualified with a best score in qualifying with a 3.073 million. Coming out of Russia with a 5.15 million PB. And just keep this in mind, Neko has his highest level achieved ever is 114, at least according to the leaderboard that I looked. So 114 is Neko's level high. This is Neko's 5th appearance in the Masters event, including his debut in August 2024, where he went out against Myles. So maybe a little bit of retribution here on Neko's mind, being knocked out by Myles in his CTM debut just a few months ago. And on the right side, it is Myles qualifying into seed number 9 with a 2.485 million in qualifiers. Tetris here for Neko, 143, 101 for Myles, long bar down Tetris. So about a Tetris separating these two players. Myles has a PB of 8.06 million. That's good for 6th on the overall high score leaderboard. He is one of the game crashers. And his level high is 170. 170, level 170 is where he got to. Looking for his first CTM Masters event win. He has been to the finals 4 times. First time in December of 2021 against Alex T. March of 2023 against Doge. And then Lone Star 2024 against Scooty. And then last month against Blue Scooty as well. Has been in the semis of an additional 5 times. He's the winner of the Desert Qualifier 2022. And then finished in the top 8 in the Classic Tetris World Championship this year. So 2 players with potential for deep runs. Hana, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Also, Target P, thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate the support on Twitch. Now, fans and viewers, do remember, this is No Cap November. So we will start with level 18. 292 here for Neko, 289 for Myles. We will start with level 18. There'll be 130 lines of that, then 100 lines of 19, and then unlimited lines of 29. They can go forever. Now, of course, strategically, what you should expect and what would be called for is players to be a little more conservative, right? In spots where they might have been otherwise forced by the pressure of the impending 39 super kill screen, they might have been impelled to go a little more aggressive. Now they can take a conservative line and pick a better spot. So we'll see how this plays out throughout the course of the tournament. You know, players, the entire rest of the year, at least in CTM, they go for, they go for pace, they go for an aggressive high score, and they've been doing so increasingly often and with better results over the last couple of years. Nice adjustment there for Neko with the T to make room for the incoming S. He gets Tetris ready, 391. 427 for Myles. But here's the other thing. players have also been practicing, you know, line out strats and less conservative play because of the, you know, colors and rebirth revolutions. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. 455 for Myles, 440 for Neko. Now, this is a best of 3. So this is a strict best of 3 for rounds 1 and 2. And that puts, you know, additional pressure on these players to prioritize survival. Because you can always make up, you know, anything that you're going to lose pace-wise, assuming that you can line out for a long time. Thank you so much to A Game Scout for the contribution to the prize pool. 32-27. Dirty Scout bringing the prize pool up to 69-69. I honestly never thought I would see Scout doing such a thing, but that we got Dirty Scout today. 538 here for Myles. Neko is into 19 at 558, so a good transition. And Myles is in at 586, so both players, well, maybe a little less than that, but I missed the actual transition entry score, but they are right around each other's score and right around each other's lines. Long bar down for Neko. I know at this point, Dirty Scout is just normal Scout. True, Zempro. All right, Myles' board getting a little bit high and dependent here. Gets a long bar down for a Tetris and another one for another Tetris. 667 for Myles, but Neko is right there with him at 663. One line apart. I'm, you know, scared to death of this format. Not necessarily because, oh, we're going to sit here forever, but just because, you know, watching the players, you know, it's like, oh, man, did they need to go for that? Did they need to go for this and that? Couldn't they have just waited and picked a better spot, you know? So I think that's where a lot of the drama here is going to come. 728. Players who are used to going for high score, trying to rein it in a little bit. They've worked for years to develop the ability to play post 29 with aggression, and now we're asking them to rein it in competition. Crazy. 786 here for Myles, 786 for Neko. They're just 120 points apart. 120 points apart, same lines. Crazy. Long bar over Tetris, Myles, 817. Of course, the level 39 super kill screen has revolutionized competitive classic Tetris, but there still remains an ardent group of people who want to see Tetris in its purest form, with no line cap, no modifications at all. And so this month is for you. Long bar over Tetris, Myles, 941, 910 for Neko. So Myles now is about a Tetris ahead or so. And is still clean, has an open well, and gets the Tetris 974. And Neko trying to bring this down. Again, there's no... I mean, there's the pressure of the speed increase into 29. And it's not as though just playing on 29 forever is a total gimme, right? I mean, clearly people can and do top out, you know, fairly early into the 29 phase. But there's much less incentive to play aggressively. So A87 here for Myles, level 28. Neko set up for a Tetris, long bar over, Tetris for him, 999. Myles got the 1.125. The B25, he's into 29 at B30. And what is he going to do here? He's got a good lead of about 100,000 points. Neko transitioning up kind of... Oh, he's going for the dirty, but no, he's going to duck out of that. And he's just going to uncover the well and try to have a good board going into 29, which he does. A57 for him. A93 after a Tetris. Myles trying to bring his board right down. And so now the game of chicken begins. Do you go aggressively? Do you just go line out and force your opponent's hand to, you know, like, what do you do? I think there's some believe that the optimal strategy is just to line out. But I think it's kind of personal, depends on how comfortable you feel like doing that. But right now, Myles ahead by 60,000 points. Tetrises at level 29 were worth 36,000 points and increased 1,200 points every level increase. Neko actually set up for a dirty Tetris down the middle. Takes a skim, gets the Tetris B79, CO5 for Myles. Well, optimal strategy would be you can do everything perfectly and just execute the, skill agnostic optimal strategy. But of course, players have their own peculiarities and strengths and weaknesses, and so they have to adjust to that. C39 for Myles, Neko CO7. So Myles still about a Tetris ahead. Neko trying to close the gap here a little bit. We did have some post 39 play in our first solo match today, which was Dan V versus Alan Bot early this morning here in Texas. And that was a failed chase down by Alan Bot. T-spin missed here for Neko. Longbar gets over to help bring this down. C68. So Neko closing the gap even more. And just behind by about 9,000 points right now. Now we don't have to worry about pace really all that much anymore. Josh says, does winner of blue go against orange? Yes, that's correct. D08 for Myles, D09 for Neko. And I have to remember, I can't go all out straining here in the post 29 phase because it could last a long time. Both players post 39. And I'll have to go back into the stats in the history and see how often we got in previous no caps. We got two players past 39. I don't think it happened that often. Like, it was surprisingly seldom. Myles taking a conservative line here and getting a triple. I mean, Neko back by about 10,000 points. We're at D here, 1.3 million. Now remember, the score does roll over after the F. It goes A, B, C, D, E, F. It goes back down to 0 at 1.6 million. And we may have to track rollovers. I probably should have put a rollover counter on the screen. Maybe I'll do that for the next stream. Neko with a nice triple there, D97. He's just still within about 10,000 points of Myles. And so now you're starting to see why this is a best of 3. The earlier match today didn't really demonstrate that, but I think this one is doing that. And Myles set up for a Tetris. And he gets the Tetris down, puts a little bit of space between him and Neko. And the thing is, there's just no pressure whatsoever to catch up. And this is just kind of a war of attrition now. Level 47 for Myles. Again, the Neko has a level PB of 114, Myles 170. So yeah, for the next stream, I'll try to put up a rollover tracker just in case it becomes necessary, which it very well might. All right, Neko getting up high, sir, on the right side. He's going to have to bring this down. All right, he is starting to bring this down. That didn't burn anything, so... Oh, no, and I think a ghost burn here for Neko. No, and Neko going to top out at F08. And Myles is good in game number 1. Neko getting to level 49. Myles getting to 51. Should have mandated 7-digit scoring. You know, I could have. The tournament, brutal 3-2-1 Tetris. Yes, best of 3 format here in the early rounds of No Cap November. I think you can see from that first game why that is. These players have the potential to go super deep, although it is admittedly brutal. I mean, there could be an early top out on 18 and all 3 games, and it could just be super short. But, you know, you also get the chance to play forever and chase something down. So it is, I don't want to say it's easier to get points, but you're not limited, right? Just by the arbitrary 39 raining down on you. You can go after those points, and those points are entirely up to your ability to survive on 29. Diaslor said scaling is a factor. Yes, indeed. So you have an additional opportunity to get those points. So to me, I don't know, best of 3. It's what we did last year, and it only makes more sense this year to do it. Like, players are just better at going deep. I mean, since last No Cap November, we've had, you know, multiple, you know, more people joining the Colors Club, more people everybody joining the Crash Club, 1 player joining the Rebirth Light Club. Tetris Miles here, 168, 150 for Neko. Are there any limitation, or is it uncapped forever? It's uncapped forever. You know, if a player's close to a record or a PB and they want to mullen it out, fine. If it's just an arbitrary mullen from a, you know, regular game, then we'd ask them not to. But, you know, if one of them tops out at like 120 and the other one's going for, obviously you're not going to stop them from doing a colors run, right? And who knows, will this be the last ever No Cap November? I don't know. Maybe we'll change it to No Roll November. I don't know. I don't know what we'll do. It really depends. Like, if it's just every game super deep for hours, I don't know. All right, Mr. Brain says, I've seen plenty of Colors games. Yeah, but you don't see them in competition that often, so. Long bar over Tetris Mile. I mean, we've had like 1 Colors game in CTM, right? Like the Colors game. No Tetris November sounds perfect. 279 for Neko, 378 for Miles. Already about 100,000 point lead for Miles. And, you know, these early pace things don't matter as much. I mean, if we do No Cap next year, it could be just the OG cart rules where the crash is on. And so there would be, you know, no artificial cap November. Just whatever the game, you know, the cap the game shipped with. No road December. Is that what you want? $492 for Miles, $371 for Neko. No gym December. $495 for Miles. He's setting up long bar column 9 for that Tetris well, and gets the Tetris. He's got another one already set up. 519 through 105, kind of overshift for Miles on that L piece. And the good thing is you can just like take unlimited time to burn these down. You don't have to be super pacey. But, you know, I think there also is a psychology here, and I think having the lead, wrongly or rightly, does put a little bit of pressure on the opponent, right? Oh, I'm behind, I better catch up. Although, in a way, I don't know that you really have to, you know. So there's a lot of games of chicken happening here. daring the other player to get aggressive, build high. Tetris Myles 574, Neko 493. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe best of 3 with a little bit of a I don't know. Maybe it's a little too like timid a choice. Like, oh, we don't want these games. You know what I mean? But the other thing I have to think about, it's not just about the fans or the broadcasters. It's also about the players. And Myles in a little bit of trouble. Longbar gets a triple. And he's opening up that right side. So that's all going to clear away. Now just needs to bring this down. Oh, and adjust the J piece for the longbar and gets it. My word. Myles 637. There is a Tetris 662. 599 for Neko. Tetris Neko 624, back by 40,000 points. But yeah, you do have to be concerned about the players. You know, if you had best of 5 and somebody does have a grueling match that goes, you know, like 2 hours or something, I wouldn't want that for the players, to be honest. And then, of course, our semis and finals will be separate broadcasts. We could potentially do away with the skunk rule in semis, depending on how these early ones go, and talk to the players about it. And just go strict best of 5. All right, 700 for Neko. He gets a Tetris 729. 800 for Myles. Yeah, 2-hour matches are for friendlies only. Yeah, for Real King. All right, nice adjustment there for Neko. Tetris 762, still back by about 100,000 points. So Neko has really kept pace with Myles over the last 100 lines or so. All right, Tetris Myles, good adjustment there for him. And another one, 962. 826 for Neko. Should you mark off 18 top out for the bingo card? That does not count as an official game, so no, it's not an 18 top out. You will not see that anywhere in the statistics. All right, Tetris Neko 904. Max out here for Myles on 27. There's another Tetris A68. Myles a little bit ahead in lines. Myles trying to set up for a good board on 29. And there's a Tetris Neko 975. All right, Myles taking some nice efficiency burns here because, you know, efficiency. All right, longbar Tetris Myles. He's into 29 at B19. Neko set up for a Tetris. If he gets it, he'll be into 29. Well, he'll be into 29 now anyway with just doubles. A20 and now a Tetris for Neko, A57. So Myles with about an 80,000 point lead. And very similar to the previous game, Neko within, you know, a couple Tetrises and just trying to slowly close the gap here. Myles setting up for Tetrises. Longbar over Tetris Myles, B93, Neko A80. Neko set up for a Tetris. Gets it, A94. Neko here, maybe setting up center well. All right, he is kind of setting up center well, and maybe just singling and doubling center well. Let's see if he can, you know, maybe catch Myles in a top out here. So he's just, yeah, he's singling and doubling. He's keeping his, he's building out the left and the right, and then just kind of taking the lines from the middle, and then maybe occasionally you know, kind of happening into a Tetris setup or something like that. And I think that's good. And Myles' board starting to climb. Gets a dirty Tetris C91. Gonna bring this down. And yeah, you can see Neko's strategy right now is to wait out Myles and then see what he needs for a Chasedown. And I think he maybe noticed that Myles was building, you know, 4 Tetrises. And so now Myles kind of going into a very similar mode here. And you can see, yeah, Myles building out left and right. He's got a lead of about 160,000 points. You can see the players adapting to each other. That's called the Freeman, is it? Oh my God, I had no idea. All right, Myles into level 38 and level 39 engaged. No super kill screen. Yeah, they are both. Myles now with a comfortable lead is really just going to put the pressure on Neko to try to keep up and basically daring him to get more aggressive. He's saying, I can do this all day. Can you? Right? It's basically the challenge being thrown out here by Myles. D73 from him, C27 from Neko. There's a Tetris down the middle for Myles, extending that lead. He's up by about 190,000 points. And will Neko fall for the bait? Myles into level 42, Neko into 41. Perfect clear for Neko with a double. All right, dirty double down the middle, Myles. And Myles sets up for a Tetris down the middle. Remember, this is a best of 3, so Neko does need to win this game to continue on in the match and the tournament. All right, Myles setting up down the middle. Didn't think he could get a Tetris, so just took the triple. Myles with the rollover on 45. That's about a 300,000 point lead for Myles right now. So Myles adapting to the tournament structure. Neko adapting to the tournament structure. And really just players daring each other to be more aggressive, or Myles really daring Neko. All right, that right side for Myles is going to need some attention. And this is going to be a problem. And Myles is going to top out at 071. So 071 is the target. So 1.671 is the target. 071 or 071 is the target for Neko. He's got to go to E, he's got to go to F, and he's got to go to O. So that's 300,000 points here. Neko trying to bring this down, and he can just go forever if he wants to and if he's able to. And he's bringing it down. He's bringing it down, so he's clean here. He's got all day to do it. Another double. I'm not exactly sure what happened on Myles' side there to get him into that, but Neko just trying to remain calm and just execute and just line out until someone tells him he doesn't have to anymore. And he's still trying to bring some order to this board. Gaps are kind of pesky. All right, that bar is going to help a lot. Okay, he's back down. So he needs to get to F and O, so he's now under 200,000 points away. Oh, did he get another perfect clear? I might be looking at Myles' board trying to figure it out. Another perfect clear for Neko. Crazy. All right, so now he's about 150,000 points away. And he's now into level 54. Myles topping out on 47. Now, Neko's level PB way past this, so this is something that he has done before. His level PB is 114. He's now just 100,000 points away, less than 100,000 points to go. Oh, and he's set up for a Tetris here. Oh, no. See if he can get this bar real quick. Long bar goes in, 0.55. So he's just now less than 10,000 points away. That could have been spicy. And he just needs, and there it is. And Neko is going to complete the chase down on level 57. So Neko is good and has tied it up. Whew. Let us go ahead and get them started. It's a decider. The winner moves to round 2. Neko and Myles, 3-1 Tetris. Again, it is a best of 3. And so now you can see a little bit why those, those chase downs happening there. We don't want to tax the players too much. I don't think it would be right to have 2 back-to-back best of 5 deciders all going to like level 50. I don't think that would be a good thing to do. But anyway, you can see the strategy from both of these players. Myles really try to put the pressure on Neko by really just singling and doubling, taking the opportunistic Tetris when it kind of forced itself in there. But ended up with some issues on that right side. It did eventually top out at Neko, who had just been hanging around, not taking the bait and not getting aggressive, and just waiting to see what a chase down target would be, and executing. So well done by both players. Really, I think they did exactly what they needed to do given their situations. Except for the, topping out on 47. I'm sure Myles would have preferred to keep going, but strategically, he did what he needed to do. So the RNG probably a little trolly for these players right now because they're both kind of not great boards here to begin. Mr. Brain with the $5 super chat says, it's a reverse decider. True, but I guess every decider is technically a reverse sweep situation, so we're not going to do that. And if I look at the players' games right here, it looks like the long bars, right now there's 26 Ts, 11 bars, 15 J pieces. All the rest are low 20s. So not a lot of bars right now. So this is a kind of suffer seed to start us off. The players are going to have to weather this, and that is Tetris. You've got to be able to play even when you don't get the bars. Long bar down, Tetris, Myles, 187, 116 here for Neko. Skip Logic says, with Verizon, you get more bars in more places. My word. Tetris Myles 220. All right, Tetris Myles 249. There's another Tetris for him, 272, 199 for Neko. So this game, obviously a suffer start for both of these players, due primarily to the pieces, probably the 2 best pieces, right? In my mind, the bar, of course, undisputed, and the J piece, and both of those were in short supply early on in this game. Oh, there was another super chat as well. Let me take a look at that. If I missed that, I apologize. And I don't see it, but I'm going to take your word for it because sometimes the chat, I can't scroll all the way to the top. Thank you, Mr. Brain, for the other super chat. Yeah, I can't scroll up and see it, so my apologies. All right, Neko gonna uncover waiting on the bar, gets the bar, pulls back the L piece, throws the bar down. 341 Neko, 379 for Myles. PP Power Party. PP Power Party. Oh my god, don't invite me to that one. Thanks for the 100 bits. Appreciate that. Deck has gifted a tier 1 sub to Cold Bucket. Thank you very much, Deck. Appreciate that. All right, Myles starting to spire a little bit here. Going to take a double. That's not going to uncover the gap in column 4 or the hole. 372 transition for Neko. Gets a Tetris. Myles about to transition into 19. And just looking to bring this down with minimum awkwardness. But the game, I mean, I wouldn't trust this seed further than I can throw it. I mean, it is very trolly so far. 423 for Myles. He's going to get a Tetris 448. And now we are neck and neck, just separated by about 1,000 points. Neko now in the lead, 472 Tetris, Myles. And they are basically deadlocked here. About 472, 473. Neko gets a Tetris, so 501. I could always just call you PP. I don't want to call anyone PP. All right, Myles is set up for a Tetris down the middle. And now this is a bit problematic. That T is going to help. Trying to find a way to bring this down. Opens up that center well and gets a Tetris. Brings that stack down. 568 for Myles, 573 Neko. Myles with the T-spin down the middle. Another Tetris Neko, 632. Game Scout says PP versus Poopy match of the century. Oh my god, Dirty Scout is here. Long bar Tetris, Myles 616, and another one 647. So the lines are tied, and Neko's up by about 50,000 points. Neko's board a little bit high here. Going to bring this down. Nice Z to do that. Really nice Z's when he needed him. Neko opens up the right side, takes a skim here, and now waiting out the bar. And I wouldn't wait out bars too long in this seed, that's for sure. 739 for Neko, 655 for Myles. Long bar over Tetris for him, 689. All right, listen. I feel like I've encouraged you all. Let's back off on some of that talk, okay? I've encouraged it, but now I'm gonna rein it in. You gotta know how far to go, and some of you just don't. All right, 733 Myles. He gets a Tetris, 767. 847 for Neko. All right, maybe we should go into emote only mode. Lapis, you are 100%. 180 degrees wrong. Neko 900, 839. Myles he's just gonna take that triple into 29. He's like, no need to mess the stack up going into 29. I can play all day. Neko is in. Myles is in. Neko with about a 55,000 point lead. The furthest level reached so far, 57 for Neko. BV is here. What's up, BV? Is this like the BV? 879 from Myles, 935 for Neko. Yes, it is line out battle. Myles with a good board here. Both players now low. Myles, that S piece is going to cause him to have to down stack a little bit. No different, BV. All right. Well, we like you all the same. All right, so right now, Neko with about a 45,000 point lead. The line difference doesn't really count too much anymore. And it's all just, you know, surviving and avoiding the temptation to go aggro unless you want to, unless that's part of your game strategy. Like if you just want to build up a huge lead and put your opponent up against it, then, you know, you can do that. That didn't work very well here in game number 2. Neko was able to do like a 300,000 point chase down, basically singling and doubling the entire way. All right, Neko set up for a Tetris here. He's trying to keep that well open, but now is just going to have to close up shop and live to fight another day. Bringing it down. He's got the max out, first max out in this game. A43 for Neko on 39. Myles bringing this down. He's got the max out on 38. So both players recovering well here. Now I can see there might be, you know, some players who just like play aggro the entire time because that's just how they're comfortable. Some players very comfortable with the line out game. Myles' board starting to climb a little bit, and so he's got to do what he can to try to bring this down. Opens up that right a little. He's just trying to bring this down, overshift the line. Myles struggling here, survival mode, back by 50,000 points. This is a Myles dig. Oh, that left side for Myles is going to be so tough. And this is going to be a top out for Myles at A63, and Neko is good. And we'll be moving on to round 2. My word. So Myles going to take game 1. Neko roars back and takes the next 2 games. And he will continue on in the tournament. Myles with the early knockout in no cap. Thanks again, Myles. Hope to see you again, my friend. But Neko will be moving on. GG's to both of our players. We got another match coming up between Meme and Tetris time. Neko, don't go too far. Myles, you are dismissed. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.